to the OMG Hour.
Welcome to episode number 301 of the OMG Hour. We are, of course, your original modern geeks, and I am Sean Evans, otherwise known as Zion Tane.
And I am Tycko, Mr. Second Place, back after hiatus.
Making noises in the background.
I don't even know what made that noise. I shut everything else down.
It wouldn't be you, Tycko, if you weren't making noises.
I don't even know what could have made that noise. Everything is quieted. I
so
swear.
We are back. It has been 3 months to the day since we went on hiatus. We recorded episode 300 on June 14th. This is September 14th. And here we are returning episode 301. Now listen, we've been talking. Tycko and I have been talking over the summer and doing some planning. We're trying to evolve the show a little bit, so we are going to...
a little different.
We're going to approach it a little bit differently, you know. We are not just gamers. We are geeks of all kinds, movies, television, collectibles, like you name it, toys, you know. So, and board games, not just video games.
Yes.
So we want to kind of bring all of that into the OMG Hour. And so kind of like nothing's off the table for discussion is really kind of the way we're going to go. Yep. We want to try to make it a little more freeform as well, a little less structured. You know, we're going to try to keep it to the hour as well. We're still going to try to keep that fully to the hour. Now,
we won't.
Those of you watching on the YouTubes and those of you watching or listening on... sorry, give me a second here. Those of you listening to the podcast... it's going to be a little bit different. So those of you watching us live, we're going to structure this into separate segments. So anything we do as a game review is going to be a separate segment, but we'll record it all on the same night. Okay, so basically we're going to do our chat first, and then we're going to stop the stream. We're going to transition over to doing a review, and we're going to come back live but do a review. So stick around the channel for Friday evenings is our new night, but basically stick around because we've got more than one segment to do each night. For those of you listening, just sit back, relax. It'll all be put together for you.
Yes.
You know? But,
and if you're only doing one of those two things, try the other. You know, try 1 week, maybe listen, 1 week watch. You know, maybe for fun, just do both.
Yeah, so, you know,
on multiple devices. You know what? Get like 7 or 8 devices.
All in a row.
Watch it and listen to it all at the same time. That has to help our numbers, right? If people do that.
Absolutely.
Yes. At least 8 devices we expect from each.
Get all your devices lined up on a table and just watch us during the whole night. So
yes.
Anyway,
perfect.
So that's kind of like where we're going with the show, and let's jump in real quick to what we've been doing since we you last saw us.
Whole months of geeking and gaming.
Well, do you want to talk about every single one of the games you've played?
Yes. So we may go over the hour.
We might go for the next 3 months.
Yeah, So
what we've done, we've compiled a list of every game Tycko has played.
Let's go through your entire list first, Sean.
My list?
We'll see after your list if there's time left for my list.
We'll see
after your list.
I'm gonna tell you right now. When we took the hiatus, I actually did take a hiatus. Actually, I stopped playing games for a good 2 months.
Oh, so did I. This is all like last night. My entire list is from last night.
Oh, good. So over the last month or so, I kind of got back into playing some things. I've been playing Spider-Man. We're going to talk about that. We're going to do the review for Spider-Man tonight. Destiny 2, of course, I jumped back in. I realized Destiny 2, of course, the Forsaken DLC is available now as a separate purchase, which I kind of like to talk about for a second. Tycko, how do you feel about basically the Forsaken is a whole new game. It's a full price game, but you are required to have Destiny 2 to begin with in order to even play it.
That I have issues with, and I know that they made it cheaper, and they actually gave it away on some of the platforms. They gave Destiny 2 away.
Oh, right, they did. That's
PlayStation had the base game available as a free
Yes.
free download when it came out in order to do that. And I know that they've done that, but that's not always going to be available for free. I don't think it's available for free any longer, which means you have to buy a game, even at a reduced price for Destiny 2, $20-$30, then spend another $80 on DLC. Means they're getting you for way too much.
For those of us who have bought Destiny 2 to begin with, yes, we're paying another $80 for the Forsaken. If you didn't have Destiny 2, you could buy the Forsaken complete edition for $120, which includes Destiny 2 plus all the DLC for Destiny 2. So it's those of you who jumped in up front, which most of us did, were like, screw you. Give us more money. For those of you who didn't, you know what? We'll give you a break.
Yeah, it's helping the early adopters, and I understand that they're trying to keep the game alive, but
it's not helping the early adopters.
Sorry, that's right. Sorry, I meant the early adopters for buying in now. But you're right. I used the wrong word. But I spent $129 when it came out, Destiny 2, on the game pass. Plus the season pass, and now to say, okay, that plus another $80, it's not a $200 game.
Well, I agree, and I don't think it's a $200 game. It's hard to kind of quantify what I'm feeling here. I get what they're doing. Okay, they're expanding Destiny 2. It's a whole new campaign. They're adding a whole lot to it's almost like a whole new game without calling it Destiny 3. Right? So they're saying this is Destiny 2, like this whole new package we're going to dump on top of this system that's already there, but it's the equivalent of a full game. My question is it the equivalent of a full game? Is it $80 worth of new content? If it was,
then they would have called it Destiny 3 and put it out by itself. The fact that they're forcing you to have the Destiny 2 to begin with, the base game, means that's where the problem is. If they just put this, if they'd said this is Destiny 2, whatever they're going to call the subtitle, the Forsaken, and it's a standalone thing, like Dishonored did. They've done some standalone DLC where it's a separate game. You don't have to have the base game do it. You can just download and play this if you want to play this.
I'm surprised. I would have, I think, rather seen them do like a year 2 season pass. Maybe we pay another $40.
Another $40. I wouldn't say boo. I would not say boo about another.
Exactly. I kind of would rather see them do that, and rather than full priced add-on, because that's essentially what they're saying. This is a full priced add-on. This is not a full game. All right.
Yeah.
Because you need Destiny 2 to start with. But anyway, I digress. That was just something that kind of I've been thinking about recently. But I realized
you paid the $80.
No, actually, I got it for review, so hopefully I can get into it soon and talk about
that's
Forsaken.
Not that bad then. That's not bad. As a review, then that's the right price.
Yes, I got a code from Activision for it, so I'm happy about that. Because I was kind of, I had gotten out of Destiny. I realized when Forsaken came out, I hadn't even played the DLC yet from. So
from the season pass,
Curse of Osiris. So I ran through Curse of Osiris, and I still have to do Warmind because I want to finish Warmind before I start Forsaken. I don't want to play them out of order. So I'm hoping to do that. Torn for PSVR. I hope to review that next week. I've been playing that recently. Far Cry 5 I jumped into a couple of times. I still haven't finished it, but it's one of those games I jump in, I just have fun for a couple hours. And it's still good. It's still a lot of fun, but I still want to finish it. And later we'll be reviewing a game called The Gardens Between. So I played through that, finished it. That was a game we saw at PAX East this year that we really both enjoyed. So stick around later and I'll talk a little bit more about it. So that's my gaming summer. Basically 5 games.
5 whole games. All right.
And today or yesterday I started playing Lara Croft, Tomb Raider.
Yes.
Shadow of the Tomb Raider. So
that's also, that one's not on my list yet either, but that one I've been putting some time into, which is
next week.
That'll be next week.
Next week we'll talk about that. Your list, however, Tycko.
My list,
we had to create a special video just for you. So for those of you interested in looking at how many games did you say was on this list?
I think it is 61 games, I believe.
Okay, for those of you watching, enjoy this. This is a list of all of Tycko's games that he has played. See if you can pick out all the games. Can you read them really fast, Ticko? Can you?
Yep.
I'll go do it one more time. Here we go. Ready? War games. So many. I can't even read them.
Coffee fresh. No, you're going to. It's go too fast. There's too many games. And this is with all of the Neo Geo titles also broken down to just one title in there.
Yeah.
It just says a lot of Neo Geo titles because I didn't want to write out all like 15, 20 Neo Geo titles.
Tell the audience, Ticko, what you told me before the show about the Neo Geo titles and what you did. Now, this is just proof that this is a gamer score junkie. Okay, so here, if I preface this, there is a contest going on currently on True Achievements for a gamer score challenge. I think just over 2,000 people started this challenge. You love these challenges. I absolutely love these challenges. Just about 2,000 people, individuals, started the challenges, and then there's also teams of 2. So I'm doing this with my brother-in-law, and there was just under 1,000 teams that started this. So every week, I think it's the bottom 10% of people playing get eliminated from the challenge. So you have to stay above that line every week. So each Neo Geo title is worth 1,000. So this is an elimination challenge. It's an elimination challenge. Oh, interesting. So there is currently in the individual this week, when the eliminations go through this week, there will be 51 people left. I am currently still alive in that. Say how many left? 51 out of 2,100 people are left in this contest. You are in the top 51. I am in the top 51, and then the team challenge, I started with just under 1,000. We are down to the top 27. And you're still in it? And we are still in it. We are actually, I believe, ranked, the total gamer score gained over the 35 weeks that it's been running. We 35 weeks? 35 weeks. We are ranked 8th overall. There are notable gamers like Stallion83 in this. Oh yes. So I'm in the top 50 with Stallion. So I mean that's pretty impressive. This is a guy who's almost at 2 million gamer score. And yeah, exactly. I think he was the first one to hit 1 million. First to hit 1 million. Yeah. Now you were telling me earlier that with the Neo Geo games, which are essentially remakes of old Neo Geo arcade games, you play them on Xbox. They come out on Xbox, and then they also release them on games for Windows 10. So and the gamer score is separate, so you can get the gamer score twice on each of these horrible. So you play the game once, and then you go play it again and get double the gamer score. There is a contest. Are they a full 1,000? Yes, full 1,000 gamer score for each of them. Every game now that comes out is a full 1,000. Oh my gosh! Wow! And then plus DLC and stuff like that you can get. So. Oh man! I have gained in the 3 months we've been off. I have gained roughly about almost 80,000 gamer score. You're crazy. Yeah, I know. A little nuts. You are just absolutely crazy. Run the list again, Sean. Run the list again. You want to see the list again? Yeah. All right. Here's the list one more time for those of you who missed it. If you can pick out all those games, Frost, there's a couple Full Blast, good ones in there. On Dead Rush. Cells. Dead Cells is fantastic. Soda Drinker Pro. All right, so Soda Drinker Pro, we saw this, my very first PAX. We, for some reason, had an appointment to see this game, and we went to see this, and the gentleman there sent me a code, but it is not available in Canada. Right. So I was goofing around with the Xbox. I set my stuff to US and realized I could actually download it here, so I downloaded it. Sean, you just passed level 1. You just passed level 1 right there. Yeah, this is the game. You left trigger to lift the drink up, right trigger to bring it to your face to drink, and you've completed a level. You just can do that through a whole bunch of different environments, and that is the game. Why? Why? I don't know why. It's one of these things like Goat Simulator or something like that. I think somebody said, "Hey, look what we can do with this," and then they're like, "Well, let's see if Xbox will let us put it out there," and they did. 4 gamer score too. Like I think I have like 700 or 800 in that game. That's so stupid. It is very. But Dead Cells is a great game. Anybody who hasn't tried that yet, try Dead Cells. Sean, I've heard good things about Dead Cells. Brian Juggler of Geese is on. Hey, Brian. Thanks for joining. Thank you for joining us. Dead Cells. Yeah, tell us a bit about that before we move on. So it is a Metroidvania roguelike. Now I know you hate roguelike. I do, and I'm not a huge fan either. But this game makes it so satisfying to keep popping back through there. Now, is there some persistence then?
your character builds up, so you learn certain skills, you unlock certain weapons and stuff like that as you go through it. Like I have not even managed to make it through past the first boss, and I'm still going back and playing it.
Oh, okay.
It is that much fun. It is good, and out on the Switch too. And from what I understand, from I think JJ has it on the Switch and said it's fantastic on the Switch.
Well, someday, maybe when it comes down in price. I think I added it to my wish list.
Yes.
We forgot to mention something that we're in our new format. We're thinking of new names for our segment, and we forgot to mention that as we discuss topics of basically what we're doing right now, we really wanted to call this Couch Co. Oh, what happened to my logo? It went huge.
Why did you make it so big?
Why is it so big?
This
Ticko?
is why. This is. I thought we were trying to set this up ahead of time. We came on early to test out everything.
I had this tested earlier. Shh. I don't know what happened, but anyway, welcome to Couch Co-op. That's our new name for the stuff we like to talk about. So this is now Couch Co-op. Anyway,
yes,
we're trying new stuff. We're gonna have some fun with the show. Listen, 6 years, 300 episodes. It's time to move in a different direction. It's time to have some fun. Television. I watched a lot of TV this summer. Instead of playing games, I spent a lot of time. My wife and I we watched. We started watching the Stargate series again from the beginning. I loved Stargate the movie when it came out in '94, and I think it was '96 or '97 that the TV show started.
Yeah,
and I loved Stargate SG-1, and then Stargate Atlantis came out. 5 years of that, and then 2 years of Stargate Universe, which was short-lived, and that was a shame. And I'm watching through it, and there are things about Stargate that I remember. Like in around season 8, Jack O'Neill, Richard Dean Anderson leaves the show for personal reasons. He comes back as a recurring character a couple times a season. But I remember that. And then I remember Cameron Mitchell, who replaces him. I remember Vala Maldoran, who comes in, who is, what's her name? I can't think of her name offhand, but she played Morgan from Dragon Age. Claudia Black, played by Claudia Black. And I remember them. I remember them being on the show. But as soon as Dorothy and I hit like season 7 of Stargate, we're looking at each other and like, I don't remember any of these episodes. Not a single thing do we remember. Right?
I've had that happen a couple of times on rewatches of shows. I'm like, I remember most of this, but then you hit that one episode. I'm like, I don't recall this.
No, and I'm not talking one episode, Ticko. I'm talking entire seasons. Like, we're on season 10 now, the final season of SG-1. And it's like, did we actually watch this? Because I don't remember any of this. I remember the bad guys, which were introduced in season 9. So it's like, how do I know these characters? How do I know this enemy if I never watched it, but I don't recognize anything from season 8 through 10?
So you must have half watched it. You must have watched it while you were doing something else.
I don't know. It's so weird because back then, this was around the time I'm trying to think when this was. She was a few years old. So the kids were obviously a lot younger when this was airing. I'm thinking, we usually DVR'd things back then. So why am I not remembering? I don't know. We're watching Stargate Atlantis. What I did actually, Ticko, is we're watching them alternating. So we're actually watching them
as they air dates.
As they aired, because there's a lot of intertwining. Crossover. There's crossover, but there's also intertwining. Not so much as like the CW shows do with Flash and Arrow, right? But SG-1 might mention something going on in Atlantis, or Atlantis might mention, and when they mention it was right around the time it just happened. So it's awesome watching them in chronological order.
Yeah, I did that with Buffy and Angel when I rewatched that.
Right, because there's crossovers there too.
Because there's crossover, because those were on different nights, Tuesdays and Thursdays. So when I rewatched that, I made sure I was, okay, then we have to top over here and back and forth.
So we're on season 10 now. We're almost done SG-1. We're on season 3 of Atlantis. 2 more seasons of Atlantis after that, and then SGU. And then we'll be done. And
then they got to make something new for you.
They do. I really want them to make more Stargate. I love the Stargate series, and I always have.
Had, what was it? Origins? Stargate Origins?
Stargate Origins was like
a web series?
10-minute episode web series, and I've seen like 3 episodes. I can't find the rest of it anywhere, so I don't know. Now, another show that Dorothy and I watched we were hooked on this show. Surprisingly, it was a show I'd heard many, many things about over the years. Downton Abbey.
Yeah, I have never watched
I
any of
didn't
that.
know what it was. All I heard was, man, Downton Abbey's great. Have you seen this? Blah, blah, blah. It's like, what's so great about, what is it? I don't know. We started watching it, Ticko.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, we were so freaking hooked on this game.
Is it that good?
We were so freaking hooked on this TV show that when we went to Tobermory for a week, I downloaded 4 episodes onto my iPad so Dorothy and I could sit in the car late at night and at least watch an episode. That's how good this show is.
Is this worth? Would I enjoy this? Do you think I would enjoy this?
Honestly, I'm not sure. It's a period piece, so it takes.
Yeah, no, I know it's. Yeah. I know it's. I'm just.
I mean, seriously, I was really fascinated with the life and times of that era. You know, it takes place. It's an earl's house, so it's high society, but in the early 1920s, starts in 1912, goes through to like 1925. You know, across the 6 seasons.
Yeah.
And it is so fascinating, and just learning the dynamics between the family and the servants, basically the cooks and the cleaning staff and the butler, and how all those dynamics work. It is so fascinating, and I loved it.
I am willing to try 1 episode to see how it is.
We loved it so much that after watching the finale, we went back after we understood everything and watched the very first episode again, just to get an idea of where it all started. Now that we knew who everyone was, we watched the first episode again to try to kind of cement in what happened in the first episode. I remember the first episode being kind of confused, like, what's going on? I don't get it. But really fascinated with the characters.
Yeah.
You know? But it took a couple episodes for me to understand the actual story that was going on. But then it was like, man, I'm hooked. Yeah, so that's basically, my summer was more television than gaming.
Mine was about even.
Well, obviously,
I didn't do a list the same for the games for us to scroll through, but a couple of notables. One that just started, The Purge, which they made a TV series of.
Is that available now?
The first 2 episodes are out.
Oh, I thought it was coming soon.
Yeah, the first 2 episodes have aired. I was surprised that it was actually as well done as it is. So it's I believe an 8 episode season.
Okay.
And it basically, the whole 8 episodes is the one night of The Purge.
One night, 8 episodes.
Yeah.
I've never seen the movies though. Are the movies good?
Oh, the movies. I mean, you have to like horror. You have to enjoy that sort of thing. It's basically, The Purge is one night of the year. I believe it's a 12-hour thing. You know, like all crime is legal, and the government, you know, it's the culling the herd sort of thing. So
well, similar to that show, I just finished watching Castle Rock.
I have not started it yet, but I've heard decent things about it.
It was interesting.
Yeah.
But I will say the ending is really disappointing.
That I heard that as well.
Yeah, I was like, it seemed like it was going to go to a really cool place, and then it didn't. And I was like, really?
Yeah,
that's where you ended it?
It's a Stephen King universe.
Yeah. Yeah, it takes place in the Stephen King universe, basically where most of his novels take place.
Yeah, Castle Rock, Maine. Yeah. I'm interested to see that, so I'll give that series a watch real quick.
And it's not horror. They advertise it as horror, but it is not.
It's in the horror genre.
It's more of a supernatural drama, I would call it.
Yeah.
But it's not even supernatural, I guess. I don't know. You have to watch it.
Yeah. The other thing I watched, it's called Monsters and Misfits. It is an anthology series by
Bobcat Goldthwait. Yes.
Yeah. Which his name on it is Bobcat Goldthwait's
Misfits and Monsters.
That's why I watched it. I'm like, okay, what the heck is this? Right? Bobcat Goldthwait is the weird screamy guy from the Police Academy movies. If anybody doesn't know who he is, and he's a very funny comedian as well. He's directing a series of just a little anthology of sort of supernatural-esque
of shows. Yeah, they're great.
Shows, and like they're just so much fun. Like I don't know which ones you've
20
seen.
minutes. I've seen all of them. They're 20 minutes, and it's it's a 30-minute show. And then what I really like too is after every show, there's an interview with him and the characters talking about how they came up with the story and the way they approached it. But yeah, it's like every show is its standalone show. It's kind of like the Twilight Zone type thing, where every show is just a completely new story. Like think of it as more of a silly, out there version of Black Mirror.
Yeah. It was just I just really enjoyed that. I was very surprised as what it was, and really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed that as well. All right, we've got a few things we want to talk about, and I think we've got about 15 or so minutes left in Couch Co-op. This is something that came to mind the other day, Tycko, because I picked up recently another. I'm a collector of pop figures, and I picked up, of course, Lara Croft, which is obviously Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
And I didn't know this existed. It's funny because my wife ordered something from Amazon. I went to order it for her. I needed to spend like $5 to get free shipping. I'm like, okay, what do I want? And I looked through and I found Lara Croft pop figure. I'm like, oh, $10.
I'm surprised you did not have one yet.
I didn't know she existed.
Now, which variant do you have? Do you have is it like clean face or is that muddied face?
No, this is muddied and bloody face.
Yeah, because if you look on the back, it'll show you the different ones in the series too.
Not on this one.
No, not on this one.
No, it just shows Tomb Raider Lara Croft.
Oh, and that's the Crystal Dynamics Lara
Croft.
This
is the game version, yes.
Yeah.
So I ordered that. It came, and I want to ask you something, just theoretically. What is the fascination with pop figures? Honestly, they're huge. They are hugely popular. Yeah. But I've often sat down, as much as I like them, and I collect a few. I've got some Star Wars ones. You can see some Star Wars ones on my shelf there. I've got Star Trek behind me, and I've got a few video game ones like Lara Croft, Triss, and Aloy. I've got Diva from Overwatch. So I tend to buy specific characters, not whole sets.
Yeah.
And but I often look at them and I think, you know what? Mostly it's their bodies that are the detailed part. And then it's just this giant head with big black eyes and a very subdued mouth. And yet
whatever hair.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So but I look at them like, why are they so fascinating?
All right.
What is fascinating about them?
A couple of things with these, in my opinion at least. Number one, they have the license to pretty much anything. I am surprised there is not an OMG hour set out there somewhere.
There should be.
But there is a license for pretty much everything you can imagine out there to make these things. So whatever you're a fan of, you can find one. Yeah. I have in my house, there's probably 20 of them. I have the Batman in Popster set, so it's like the Batman villains dressed up as Batman. I have an NBA one, so a basketball player. That's NBA, Sean.
Well, that's just the thing. I think you just hit it on the head there. These aren't just games. These are games, movies, television.
I have Count Chocula upstairs. I have Count Chocula upstairs. Shannon, for Shannon, I've bought her several of them. She is a huge horror fan. Yeah. So I have a Jason, I have a Freddy, I have a Chucky, I have Regan from The Exorcist.
You can get Bob Ross painting.
Bob Ross, yes. There's actually and the Deadpool Bob
Ross.
Deadpool
Bob Ross, exactly.
So they have something for everybody. So it is a very easy thing. If you want to get somebody like, hey, I know that my son maybe doesn't like Halo that much, but he's a huge hockey fan, so I can get him an NHL pop. You can find some, and they're cheap. They're $10, assuming you get them when they first come out and before the collector market hits.
Well, yeah, you got to buy them when they're on the shelf, because then they're about $10 to $12.
Yes,
Canadian. Obviously, in the States, I think they're
$9.99.
Are they $9.99 in the States?
Yeah.
So we actually get a pretty good deal in Canada then, with only $12.
Not bad. Yeah.
But I think that's another reason why they're so popular, is because they're not expensive. They're easy to just like, oh, there's a character I like. It's only $12.
And you can, if you want to get expensive, you can. Like, they have the con exclusives. Like we actually just at Fan Expo, both you and I were interested in the Bob and Doug McKenzie.
Didn't get them.
Which apparently was like a ridiculous line. Every single day they had a limited number, and you had to go get tickets, and the tickets were gone in like 2 minutes every day.
Yeah.
But like, so you can't. They have the con exclusives that you just can't find anywhere.
But those were not traditional pop figures. Those are not the big head. Those are different. I got a fruit fly flying around me. Those are a different style of almost like, you know how they got Adorbs and they've got different lines? That was not the Pop Vinyl line. It was a different line, but I still wanted it because it was Strange Brew.
It was cool. But you have all sorts of these. I actually have a gold Power Armor set, so you have different variants of the same ones as well.
You've also got exclusives at different stores, like Target, Walmart. There's Hot Topic. I think I have a Hot Topic Ray from Star Wars exclusive. But yeah, they have exclusives, so it's like people, you have to go to that store if you want that particular variant. And that's just the thing. I mean, okay, so I found online, I was thinking of doing this for my daughter, Aria, because she loves Harry Potter pop figures. She has a whole bunch of them. That's all she collects, mostly. She's got her Batman and like Doctor Who and stuff like that, but mostly she wants the Harry Potter ones. Well, there's this website, Tico, called Pop in a Box.
Yes,
that is subscription service, $10 a month. And you get a pop figure every month. You can get 2 a month, 3 a month. You know, for like 2, I think is $18.99, so it's a little bit cheaper. Yep. It's cheaper than buying them in the store for $12. I'm like, hey, that's a good deal. So I went just out of curiosity. I signed up for it. I went to the payment phase, and I wanted to see what's the shipping. Of course, they don't show you shipping until the very last second.
Yeah,
$5 shipping, Tico.
Yeah,
$5. Like now,
again,
now it's more expensive.
It's more.
Yeah. So like, if you were going to give me $10 a month flat, it'd be like that would be worth it because that's cheaper than going to the store for one. What's nice about it though is you can have a wish list. You can put in a list of which ones you have, so they'll never send you one you've got.
A duplicate.
You know, and you can sign up for specific lines. Like if you just want Harry Potter, you'll just get Harry Potter, and you'll never get a duplicate.
Yeah.
Right. It's a neat idea, but it ends up being more expensive than just going to the store.
You get priced because I believe they ship from the States, which hurts us. I don't know what the shipping in the States is.
I had heard they ship from the UK.
From the UK, oh well, $5 is not bad from the UK, but still not a good deal for us because they sell them here. We can walk into a store and pick them up.
Exactly. A lot order from them from Amazon. Get free shipping when you order something with something else.
Yeah. A lot of subscription services are including pop figures in them. Loot Crate, the horror blocks and stuff like that. I got a couple of them from there. Like a lot of these have those in there as a little added thing and added value in those things. One of my coolest ones, I have a Joker Batman one that came in a Loot Crate ages ago.
Yeah. Anyway, that's pop figures. Another one, I don't know if we'll have time to talk about everything on our list today. Which one do you want to talk about? You want to talk about this one or this one? You choose.
Where you're highlighting? Let's go at the bottom one.
You want to talk about the bottom one? All right. DC movie universe. We don't talk about movies a lot.
So mess of a universe.
My goodness. We just got news this week that Henry Cavill, who of course Superman, probably one of the best Supermans to date, is no longer Superman.
Yeah. And then he popped something up on Instagram or something like that, wearing a Krypton shirt and with holding one of his figures with just like weird barking behind it.
So anyway, there's the news article came out that he will not be playing Superman anymore because they're going to go in a different direction with Superman. They want to bring in Supergirl into the DC universe, which tells her story. So they need a younger version of Superman. And of course, Ben Affleck is not going to be Batman anymore. And so they need to find someone new for Batman. And it's like, and then they got the Joker movie, which isn't even part of the DC universe. It's its own separate thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this entire universe, like, it's such a freaking mess. Like, if you look at the Marvel movies for a second, if you look at the Marvel movies, in my opinion, with the exception of like maybe Iron Man 2, every movie is a hit.
Venom isn't in that universe though, too. So they've separated Venom from that universe.
That's not Marvel.
I know,
Sony.
but I'm just saying. But
the Marvel
sort of
cinematic universe is essentially golden. Like, every movie that come out is done really well. It's really enjoyable, and it flows, and every movie connects. Brilliantly. They all tell this huge overarching story. Characters come in and out. They flow. The DC movie universe is such a freaking mess. It's not even funny.
Marvel's also connected their TV shows as well with their movie universe.
Yes.
They don't necessarily interact. They don't necessarily interact, but they are connected.
They mention them.
Like there's mention and stuff. They don't necessarily interact back and forth. Right. I mean, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., you obviously have Coulson and stuff who's back.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is the only one that actually physically connects to the DCU.
But they don't negate what happens in the
they don't.
Whereas the DC universe, you have a great series of TV series on the on the CW.
Yeah. The Arrowverse is phenomenal, but then
which is so much fun.
Yeah.
And then you have this series of movies that seem to be all over the place. Every single DC movie, in my opinion, is set up, ended with a giant CG battle against some huge guy.
A world-shattering event.
Yeah, like some big like CG battle at the end, and that's the end of every single one.
But here's the thing that is so out of place. For example, the Suicide Squad movie, which was garbage, has this huge, like, the Enchantress. I don't even know what she was trying to do. It was poorly explained what Enchantress was trying to do.
Because you know what they needed? They needed like a 2-minute like montage in the middle there to explain that time passed. Because it just seems like one thing happened and then the next day this was all like this.
But Enchantress has got this huge, like, world-altering event going on. But where's the Justice League in all of this?
Yeah.
Where were they?
Yeah.
Like where's Batman? Where's Wonder Woman? Why are they not involved?
You're telling me you couldn't get Aquaman? You couldn't get Aquaman? Really?
Now
let's send in these guys.
Brian reminds us that Suicide Squad is Oscar-winning garbage. Because it did. It won, I think, for best costume or something like that.
I think it was costume
design because of Killer Croc.
I think it was Harley Quinn's shorts, actually.
Maybe it was Harley Quinn's shorts. I don't know, man. Like, with the exception of Wonder Woman, honestly,
and even Wonder Woman, the end of it was that giant CG garbage ending.
But Wonder Woman was a great film.
I really enjoyed Wonder Woman. I did enjoy it until the very end.
I am looking forward to Aquaman. I am really looking forward to Shazam. Because that looks freaking hilarious.
That actually does look really good. And actually, Shazam might be the first one in that universe that I think maybe does it right. Because it's really his standalone story.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think that Zachary Levi can really pull that character off. I think that it feels from the commercial, it feels a little bit like a superhero version of Big.
Yes. Well, that's just who Shazam is. He's a kid. He's essentially a kid who becomes Superman.
Yeah, right? And then that's what it is. It feels like we're going to take this story, we're going to tell this story, but add that. And this is what I think what the Marvel Universe does so well is, like, Ant-Man was a heist movie.
Yes.
And then they pop your heroes into that. Like, they take a genre and they tell that story.
Exactly.
And that's why I think Wonder Woman was well done, too, because it was a spy thriller with Wonder Woman in it.
Yes, a World War spy thriller. Exactly.
Yeah. And then they put their character into that universe and then stretch out the story from there. And they don't seem to do that with any of the other...
No, there's no theme. There's no, what is it? Like, what kind of film is this?
Let's get all these guys on screen at the same time and see what comes up.
Yeah, and it was just, like, even the Justice League, as much as I like seeing a bunch of characters together, in my opinion, there wasn't enough build-up to it. That's why, I think the Avengers worked so well, because there was build-up and character movie and character movie. And then after, like, 5 years, we finally had... we had the Avengers.
Was the problem is Justice League. They decided they needed to come out with Justice League first, and then they're doing all their solo stuff. If they'd done their origin story, solo movies first and built up to it, but they got into the game late. Yes. Marvel already had a huge lead on them.
They got into the game late, and they're not doing it fast enough. Marvel has like 2 to 3 movies a year. Yeah. DC's got like 1 movie every 2 years. It's not fast enough.
And Marvel's bringing out characters that. Like, did you know who Guardians of the Galaxy were really before the movie?
No.
Like I knew of them, I knew their name, but I had no idea about like the character. I hadn't really read it.
I didn't even know Iron Man before 2007 when Iron Man came out.
That one I knew.
Right, but I mean, I love Iron Man now.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. They're building out these characters, these great characters. And giving us stuff. Whereas DC has that, they have those characters. They're like, no, we got to do another Superman movie. We got to do another like put out something good. Like that's why I'm glad that we're going to see Shazam. Yes. I believe DC's now they've got their subscription channel, So we're going to see some more stuff. I think, what is it? Doom Squad?
Titans looks like another piece of garbage, though.
Yeah. Well, there's that. There's Doom Squad. There's, I think, a Swamp Thing.
It's going to be hit and miss.
In the works.
It's going to be hit and miss, Tico. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyway, that is all the time we have for Couch Co-op. So we're going to end that here. Of course, you can follow me online at Xiantane, Xiantayne.
And I can be followed at Mr. Second Place. Spelled out this way you would think it would be.
That's right. Of course, follow the show on Twitter. We are at the OMG Hour. Give us a like, subscribe, comment. Thanks for dropping by. Brian, if you are watching us, stick around. We've got a couple of reviews coming up. So stay on the channel. We'll be right back right after this. This has been an OMGNexus.com production.